this piece of shit.
In Dragon Ball Evolution, Son Goku is facing his greatest threat yet, high school bullies. But today things are about to get even worse when evil Piccolo shows up looking for the 7 Dragon Balls to destroy the Earth, forcing Goku to join up with Bulma and Master Roshi to find them first. And as you may already know, Dragon Ball Evolution is one of the most horrendous and hated movies ever made, for good reason. Everything is awful, nothing makes sense, and there's basically zero resemblance to the source material. As bad and weird as The Last Airbender might have been, this is on a whole other level.
I compel you to come forth and grant my
Master the second level of airbending. You have to control 2 things at once.
Yes, on top of being one of the worst movies ever made, Dragon Ball Evolution is also hands down the worst adaptation ever made. It genuinely cannot get any worse than this. It has so little to do with the original property that you wouldn't even know it's a Dragon Ball movie unless you saw the title and heard the character names said out loud. It's one of the strangest career-destroying black holes in Hollywood history, and I still have no idea how it happened. In other words, it's a great addition to the Filmento series covering the worst of the worst. Let's fly through the entire movie to find out how it makes all the most basic and destructive filmmaking mistakes to become not only terrible, but also the most terrible adaptation in history. If you want your movie to go level 3 super here's how. Right off the bat, the movie begins in the only way these terrible studio movies ever can, which is...
in a time before many can remember.
Yeah, voiceover exposition. It is nice to have something other than text to go with it this time, but the reason it's still worse than usual is because it's not in line with the rest of the story. They say Piccolo is imprisoned,
That imprisoned Piccolo deep within the earth.
but then 8 minutes in we see that now he's not. Which means that some studio guy just wanted to add a mandatory voiceover regardless if it made sense, just because that's how these movies have to begin.
Nice.
Okay, but then we meet the hero, who I guess is Goku, as he trains fighting with his grandpa. And since the fighting actually looks pretty good and fun, the movie quickly ruins it in the most usual way. Needless, dumb CGI. Right, Goku sees a CGI fly and whacks it into his grandpa's mouth, and it looks absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason for this CGI moment to even exist, but the movie has it nonetheless to let the audience know immediately that this is gonna be a show they can never take seriously. Very effective. Next up, as Goku loses the fight, he complains about something very usual to movies with poorly handled supernatural elements. Visual disconnect between characters and the audience. Goku says that he couldn't see the air attack,
Fell for it again. Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to block a move that I can't see.
even though it was clearly seen. A nice little way to muddy the logic of the visuals. Okay, but now we get to the first big adaptation failure, which is that character cores are unfaithful to the source material. Goku is less excited about training and more so would like to learn how to socialize and, you know...
Teach me something I can use. Teach me how to get the girl.
Which, if you know anything about Dragon Ball, makes no sense. Goku at his core is all about training. From child to adult, that's all he cares about. He has so little interest in girls that even when he has a wife, he disappears for years to train, even though he could teleport back home at the end of every day.
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Well, see ya.
And since it's the opposite here, the character could never work no matter what because the motivational core is the one thing you can't mess up. Another dumb thing in this moment is undeserved emotional struggle. Goku complains about getting bullied at school.
They push me so far.
Even though we've never seen a hint of that and instead have only seen stuff that makes it seem highly unlikely. He's not allowed to fight back, okay, but come on. Nobody believes it and it just makes the character more of an annoying complainer, which is also a thing audiences don't like. Oh, and one other thing that happens here is a weak MacGuffin introduction. The Grandpa gives Goku a Dragon Ball as a birthday gift and hypes it up as a big deal.
So keep it safe, always.
Which doesn't work because we've seen nothing to make the Dragon Ball seem like a big deal. It's introduced in a vacuum with nothing to showcase why it would matter. There's not even talk yet that it's a special birthday or anything. The Grandpa just whips out his ball and there you go. No reason to care.
Thanks.
Then Goku drives his bike to high school and you realize the next big adaptation failure. The setting is completely wrong. To adapt Dragon Ball as a high school movie makes no sense. Like, how do you translate this into this? It's like taking a phrase in Spanish and trying to translate it into those arrows in one of those dance games. It's about as incompatible and impossible to do as can be. Which is one of the quickest ways to destroy your adaptation, because if the setting is wrong, the movie can never be right. And there you go, what a way to begin your adaptation. The story already doesn't make sense, the characters are incorrect, the visuals and emotions feel dumb, and even the setting is incompatible with the source material. It's a few minutes in and you're already f***ed. Cool. Now that Goku has arrived at the school, we finally see a glimpse of that bullying he was talking about. And of course, it's some of the most unbelievable and cliché high school bullying ever. The bully literally runs Goku over, and the only reason he doesn't die is because he's Goku. Very realistic. Oh, and the bully of course has the girl that Goku wants. And it's also one of those movie high schools where everybody looks 30. Nice. Well, now that Goku creeps on the girl and sees her having trouble with her locker, he helps her out with his ki energy. And as he does that, you begin to realize that the supernatural powers aren't properly explained. Like, how can Goku do this? Can everybody do it, or do you need to be special in some way? Do all people know about it, or is it a secret thing? And how come people don't know about aliens if there's an alien flying around in a massive airship blowing up cities? It's not really clear. For example, the movie implies that ki is a secret thing.
You know about ki?
But then it also implies that it's not.
Just because my name is Chi-Chi doesn't make me a complete idiot.
So the rules are quite confusing.
What the f-
But whatever, it's cool powers, who cares? Anyway, now that school is over, there's a moment of forced relationship turbulence. Goku's grandpa waits for him to come eat cake, but then realizes he snuck out to go to a party. Which is strange because it's never been established that the grandpa doesn't let him go out. He just sneaks out so that it looks like he's doing it against his grandpa's will, which naturally doesn't work. It's fake relationship conflict and no one cares.
I don't care.
And of course, as Goku is at the party, Piccolo shows up at his home looking for the Dragon Ball. But as he steps in, he somehow realizes that there is no Dragon Ball there.
It's not here.
And now you realize that the villain is not a person following his own path, but rather a construct of the plot who knows and does whatever the plot needs him to. Like, how does he know where the Dragon Balls are? And then how does he suddenly know that the one he thought was here is not here? And if he knows the household possesses it, why wouldn't he wait for Goku to come home with it and get it from him? Well, because he's the same as the plot and the plot is not yet ready for it. Anyways, then Goku finds his grandpa dying and gets sent out on his mission to gather all 7 Dragon Balls before Piccolo. And the reason the mission sucks is because the destination and reasoning is unclear. The grandpa says we need the Dragon Balls to defeat Piccolo, but at the same time Piccolo seems to need the Dragon Balls to win. So are we playing defense or offense? And what do you mean we need the balls to defeat Piccolo if last time he was defeated without them and this time eventually is too? Whatever, just go find the balls somewhere and then let's see what happens. Good enough. Then, after Goku runs into another Dragon Ball hunter, who I guess is Bulma, they head out into the city to find Master Roshi. And as they do that, you notice that the movie's world is inconsistent as hell. At first, the movie seemed to take place in an ordinary US city with ordinary vehicles, but now it has suddenly turned into an alternate sci-fi reality with future vehicles and cities and massive craters with houses built on top. We began with Transformers, and now we're in Ghost in the Shell, which is a great way to showcase your absolute lack of vision. Another small inconsistency is in the look of the characters. Goku's hair used to look like this, and now it looks different, as if the stylist got swapped out between acts 1 and 2. Just another tiny way of showing that you can't maintain anything.
What the fuck?
And speaking of character looks, now as the heroes run into Master Roshi, it becomes clear that none of the characters are anything like their original counterparts. Goku looks like he's never been to the gym in his life. Piccolo's helper looks more like Bulma than Bulma does. Goku's grandpa looks and acts more like Master Roshi than Master Roshi does. And Chi-Chi is a popular city schoolgirl, which is weird seeing as the real character grew up in isolation. Let me guess, one of the high school bullies is Vegeta. Wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, overall not much improvement from the start. Unclear routes and destinations, confusing world, and inconsistent everything. Hell yeah. Now that Goku and Bulma have joined up with Master Roshi, they prepare to head out to find more Dragon Balls. And the first thing that sticks out is the tonal whiplash. 1 second Roshi is joking around,
Invincible!
and the next second Goku talks about his grandpa dying.
My grandfather is dead.
Quite the jump between emotions. George Lucas would be proud.
It's bold in terms of jerking people around, but I may have gone too far in a few places.
Next up, the heroes drive into the desert and come across Chi-Chi training there somehow. And what becomes evident is that information is not tied to characters, but more so to the story. Like when Chi-Chi tells Goku sorry for his loss.
I heard about your grandfather's accident.
And it's like, how? Goku lived in the forest. How would Chi-Chi know what happened? Well, because the story needs her to have that information in this moment, and that's it. Then the heroes drive off again and Roshi starts teaching Goku airbending.
Master the second level of airbending.
Which is weird terminology to use seeing as it has nothing to do with the source material. Okay, but now as the heroes drive further with awful background imagery, they fall into a hole, set up by Yamcha, who wants payment for a ladder. And as they loiter in there, stuck, Roshi starts creating images in the fire about Piccolo, which is a power invented out of nowhere just for more exposition.
A powerful curse that imprisoned Piccolo.
Then they use Yamcha's drill to dig their way toward a Dragon Ball, which leads to a terrible scene transition. One moment they're in a hole in the ground in the desert, and the next moment they're in Mordor somehow. Okay. Anyways, there they then start fighting Piccolo's orc minions to get the Dragon Ball. Because yeah, the villain here is idle. He could just go kill the heroes himself right now, but he doesn't. Not because he's not strong enough yet or because he has other stuff to do, but just because the movie would already end if he did. So he sends his minions and stays back. Piccolo's helper is there, but all she contributes to is messy editing. In one shot, Goku yeets her away, and in the next shot he's yapping with Roshi. Wait a minute, what happened to the helper? Why didn't Goku at least check where she went? It's like we jumped from point C to E with something missing in between. Anyway, then the heroes leave Mordor and go to some temple and find Chi-Chi again in a fight tournament. And by now you realize that the plot is full of random encounters because there's no other way to keep the characters in it. And of course, there's a forced love scene as well, when Bulma and Yamcha walk around a marketplace. They've never even shared a private scene before, and now they're already catching feelings. Somehow. What's also present is poor background actor management. One of the extras is literally staring at the camera like he knows the movie's gonna be shit. Next up, Goku practices the famous Kamehameha move from the source material. By lighting candles. Quite the way to use that element. Oh, and when Goku's getting frustrated at failing, Chi-Chi motivates him by offering him a kiss.
Every time you light a torch, you get to take one step closer to me.
Which is yet another showcase that the character chords and motives are still unrecognizable. Then there's also some illogical stuff, like when Piccolo's helper shows up as Chi-Chi. The transformation was set up earlier, I guess, but what's still confusing is how the helper has the exact same clothes as Chi-Chi, seeing as she's never worn this outfit before. It would have actually been way stronger if she had different clothes, because that would have made Goku have to second guess whether it was the real Chi-Chi who wanted to be with him. But that would involve actual emotion, so never mind. Then, after losing the Dragon Balls to the imposter, the heroes go fight Piccolo before he can use them, which is a great reminder that the villain's plan isn't a real thing. First, Piccolo talked about destroying the world,
The power to destroy this world.
but now he suddenly talks about ruling the world.
I compel Shenlong to grant me the power to rule this diseased.
But then again, it's not even clear if he needs the Dragon Balls to do that or just Goku's eclipse monster form like last time, so whatever. He's an evil guy doing some evil stuff and we need to stop him. Yeah. Also, as you can expect, the climax is ruined by an excess of bad CGI. The background is CGI and looks like a PS2 cutscene. The sky has a whatever CGI thing that makes it change color, because of course. Goku turns into a CGI werewolf, which looks dumb as hell, has nothing to do with the source material, and also doesn't even make sense. Piccolo's plan was to use this beast to destroy the world.
Oozaru, the evil pair brought the human race to the brink of annihilation.
But how the hell is he gonna destroy anything with a tiny werewolf that's there only for the duration of the eclipse? I don't know, but I also don't really care. After that, Goku turns back to normal somehow and the heroes call the dragon, which of course says nothing and has no physical effect. It's just background CGI that shows up to solve the movie's problem and then leaves. Just like the giant wave in The Last Airbender. Then, as the movie naturally ends in happy victory, the final thing is to foreshadow the franchise's future.
The Dragon Balls are gone. We have to find them again. You ready?
Which of course is a broken promise that will never happen because the movie is and the franchise is already cancelled and everybody's mad. The end.